Well, hello everyone. Thank you for attending my session. We don't have much time, so let's get started. But I like to keep my presentations pretty simplistic and straight to the point, so we're going to talk about what shift-left testing is, why I think it makes sense for you to implement it, and how you can implement it based on my experience at least. Of course, we cannot start without introducing myself. My name is Daniel. I've been working for FFW for more than 10 years, and FFW is now part of Jacala. For the first 5 years, I've been working as a QA lead on large-scale Drupal platforms. For the next 5 years, I've worked as a QA domain knowledge lead, meaning that I'm responsible for the sales processes and QA processes, basically anything QA related for part of our European entities. This is my fourth time being DrupalCon speaker, and I'm extremely happy about this. I want to thank the organizers, of course. And from personal perspective, my biggest achievement is that I remained sane during the COVID-19 lockdown while working from home with a newborn. I've mentioned that I'm working at Jacala. We are a data AI experience company. We have offices all around the world in more than 20 countries, active projects in more than 30 offices. We currently have more than 3,000 people. Basically, if you want to learn more, you can check our website. So let's get to the point. We'll start with what? What is in common between shift-left testing and drinking beer? The first thing in common is, of course, that I enjoy both. First is the testing, then is drinking the beer. But there is something more. Currently, everyone likes to talk about AI, right? The new hot thing. 4 years ago, it was blockchain. So we are constantly talking about the new hot thing, which is perfectly normal. The thing that I want to talk about was initially described by Larry Smith in 2001, which makes the idea old enough to drink beer even in the US. So why did I decide to pick this topic? Is because it's still relevant. It still makes sense for everyone to have it implemented in their projects. And you'll see why in a bit. So what shift-left testing is basically moving the whole testing process to the left in the software development lifecycle. What Larry Smith observed is that by doing so, you reduce that inefficiencies and higher costs that projects typically have when you have the testing left at the end of the process. So this is what shift-left testing actually means. We'll move to why I think it makes sense for you to have it. First, we have the enhanced collaboration. When you have shift-left testing implemented, it fosters a culture of shared responsibility in terms of quality. There is a deep misconception that the quality assurance engineers are responsible for the quality. The process of testing actually narrows down the gap between what we know of our platform and what we don't know about our platform, what we think we have made against what we want to make, right? So this testing process does not improve the quality. The quality is improved by everyone in the team. So if the collaboration between the developers and the QAs are from day one, we actually manage to deliver a better product. This helps us with the early bug detection and bug prevention. When we test early and we test often, as shown in the previous slide, we manage to find bugs the moment they appear. This makes them extremely cheap to be fixed, since there are not that many dependencies on them. This means that they will not cause regressions when they are fixed. So they are not in production as well. So all those combined makes those bugs cheap to be fixed. But we go a step further by also preventing bugs from occurring. This is happening through the enhanced collaboration. When the developers and the QAs, for example, have a 15-minute talk prior to the developers start working on their current ticket, the QA can share their concerns, possibly some corner cases that can be covered. This results in prevention of bugs from being developed. So by investing 15 minutes in a talk prior to the the implementation of the task, we can actually save, let's say, 2 bugs times 2 hours. It's 4 hours worth of refactoring or bug fixing. Then we have cost efficiency. So by lowering the number of iterations, lowering the time, as we know from life and Warcraft, time is money friend. So this is what we're actually doing. We're saving time, therefore we're saving money. I will not waste any more time here because it's pretty obvious. We also have improved quality. I can give you a metaphor. If we imagine that building a Drupal platform is the same as building a skyscraper, what's the most important thing is the foundation. If we have a solid foundation, we can build a platform that is 100 meters tall. But if our foundation has cracks, the building will eventually fall pretty early. The same goes for Drupal. If we have bugs, we cannot build that big of a platform before it collapses. So by testing early and testing often, we can manage to find the cracks in the foundation and report all those bugs and fix them, which is better and means that we fix them before there are any dependencies or any building on top of it. So this results in lower regression count in near future and overall higher quality product. And I've said multiple times, I've said we're saving time, and this results again in faster time to market. We're an agency, we're working with clients, we're living in a fast-paced competitive world, so we need fast time to market. This is one of the end results when we have low iteration count. But we have low iteration count not only from the bugs, but also from the implementation of features. I can give you an example with a standard ticket implementing CAPTCHA on all forms. So when we implement CAPTCHA, it's most likely that the developer wouldn't consider that the CAPTCHA will break all the automation tests. This is perfectly normal. But if they have the 15-minute meeting with the QA in the collaboration part, this will result in a implementation of bypass for the automation test to bypass the CAPTCHA. If they don't have that meeting, the QA will then have the automation tests failing. They'll have to go back to the developer, discuss how they can resolve this, and again, back and forth, and we're wasting time. So I hope that by now I've managed to convince you that saving time, money, everyone is working together. There are unicorns and rainbows everywhere. You want to see how we can do this. First, with the raise of hand, who here uses Agile? Great. So I'm asking this question because here are the core principles of Agile, and as you can see, they're basically the same things that we have already discussed, meaning that shift-left testing and Agile, they share the same concept in a way. So if you are already running Agile, it will be extremely easy for you to implement shift-left testing. Now we're going to dive deeper into that. How we can implement shift-left testing from company perspective. First, we need cultural change. It's essential to foster a culture where everyone knows that the QA should be involved in every stage of the process, of the software development lifecycle. So if you don't involve the QA, you're missing out. And this is what everyone should be thinking about. It should be the case where everyone is asking, hey, where is the QA? Not what's the QA doing here? And you should foster that culture of collaboration and involvement. Early and continuous testing. You should implement continuous testing from the start. You should have unit tests, integration tests, CI/CD, everything that everyone already knows. But this is part of the shift-left testing. This is where testing prior to the ticket actually hitting the QA's desk. And most importantly, of course, we have end-to-end automation tests. You cannot have the testing early and testing often, which is the core principle of shift-left, without having end-to-end automation testing. You need to have people who are planned from day one. They should create, maintain, update those tests. They should check the reports. You should think of automation tests the same way as you think of the production code base. If you have flaky tests who are failing for no reason, or you're having tests that are always green but they're bugs, it's worse than having no tests. Because you either have sense of security while the things are going south, or those tests are taking your time to fix them, but there's no bug actually. So you should invest in automation testing a lot because it's the cornerstone of shift-left testing. Feedback loops. Everyone should be aligned that they can get contacted, especially from the QA, who are involved in every phase, so they can contact the developer, they can contact the client, they can contact the designer, and this is perfectly normal. And this should be part of the cultural change, as well as part of your meetings, probably, or find a way with the project manager to implement it in the best way that suits you, so it does not disrupt your daily work. Accessibility first design. So one of the points from the first graph where we see that we can test the design, one of the things that I want to emphasize on is testing for accessibility. What this means is that we need to make sure that our website in future will be CAG AA compliant. This is especially important right now since from June of 2025, the European Accessibility Act will be enforced. So basically anyone operating in the European Union can get legal issues if their website isn't CAG AA compliant. So one of the things that you need to focus is to involve the QAs in that segment. And from how the last point is education and training. This is some part of the things that I think can be implemented and will help you with the implementation of how shift-left testing is implemented, but you need to have education and training. So this means that when you perform a gap analysis or SWOT analysis, you see that you're not proficient in everything that I'm talking about, and there are some gaps in your knowledge. You should invest in that in order to be able to implement shift-left testing. If you don't have enough knowledge everyone in the team doesn't have enough knowledge, let's say in automation testing and CI/CD, the communication will not go smoothly because the team members will not be able to align quickly and the collaboration will not go well. In 2020, I've prepared a session which was for how to utilize QA engineers in every stage of the project lifecycle. So it's a complementary session to this one. It explains how the QA can help the project in every phase. So you can consider watching it if you want to learn more about shift-left testing, looking from the other side. For conclusion, everything is good comes at a price. First, we have resistance to change. Not everyone would like to change the way that they work. A lot of people have a lot of experience and they're used to working in some way and they don't want to change it. Not everyone wants to get that collaborative with the quality assurance engineers. There are lots of problems that you might face. The initial investment in training in tools is something that, again, depending on what your company policy is, something that you might face as a problem. You need to overhaul your existing processes, meaning that someone should go through to update your whole documentation, to spread the word, to perform the trainings, etc., etc. That someone might be an initiative shepherd, someone who then joins teams to help them implement shift-left testing, or is someone who jumps to different offices, performs those trainings. Maybe you'll need more QAs. I've shared with you that we are doing everything quicker, which means less hours, which is true, but we changed the developers to QA ratio. So if you consider that you might have 7 developers and 1 QA, this results in a team of 8 people. We can do the same work with 5 developers and 2 QAs, which results in a total of 7 people in the team. by implementing the shift left testing. So we should lower the people count, but we should also change the dev to QA ratio in order to achieve that. And if you don't have enough QAs, this will be a problem. And there are many more problems that you might face, depending on your organization, depending on your projects. There are different things that you stumble upon, but shift left testing costs money, but it's still cheaper, better, and faster than not having it. Thank you for your attention. And if you want to learn more, you can contact me on LinkedIn, or you can scan the QR code and contact me on my business email, where we can discuss more. I can provide you some real life examples. And yeah, thank you.